It sure puts a smile to my face when I meet someone who passionately loves what I love, like a little mental nod that helps you feel less lonely in the cosmos. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is every little nod and salute and homage and love letter possible to retro games, and I love it for that. I'm Old Soul, and in this video, we're gonna review Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and if it's worth buying. As always, I appreciate any form of support, even as small as hitting the like button and subscribe. Thank you. Starting with the looks, the game seems very eye-pleasing, as you can see for yourselves. I always appreciate when an artist knows how to actually draw pixel art and understands what defines them, instead of just demaking an already existing polished design. We can see traces of Blasphemous in here. Of course, that's because the same devs worked on this project, but more importantly, the vibrant color palette reminds me of the golden era of retro games in Sega Genesis and Nintendo. Back in the 80s and 90s, people were just discovering what they can do with computers and this amazing newfound land of technology. The developers of that era were so excited about it that they made everything so vibrant and shiny with blinding neon effects. It was only in the 2000s when we found out if we want a more realistic impression, we need to ease down on the saturation. Those oversaturated colors are everywhere here, and I love it. It's like Streets of Rage meets Blasphemous. As weird as it sounds, it's perfect. Maybe the only thing that I didn't like about it was the hit stops. For those who don't know, hit stop is the feature that makes the game freeze for a second when you get hit. Maybe this would make sense in a slower game like Blasphemous, but Ragebound is so fast and fluid, it just breaks the flow. As for the story, it's a tale as old as time. Two opposing sides join forces against a greater evil. I never played a Ninja Gaiden game in my life, so I'm not a specialist on the lore and the history between Hayabusa and Black Spider Clan, but I think it's decent enough. Not something crazy with deep layered lore like Blasphemous, but acceptable. Funny enough, that retro trace is present here too. Those linear games back in the 90s always went like this. You are a clueless person in seek of something you can't have. Only at the very end of each level, some information will be revealed to you so you know where to go next or who you should defeat in order to get what you want. Not a die-hard fan of this, but don't have any problems with it either. Now for the best part, gameplay. It's a common thing for side-scrollers to start you off with a few basic abilities and then introduce new ones along the way. Ragebound does something way cooler. It connects this progression with the story and meanwhile won't let the gameplay get repetitive or boring. By introducing Kenji to us first and his style of fighting wielding a katana, they create a ground zero. Then Komori enters the picture with completely different mechanics, using a ranged weapon to fight, kunai. Then the game basically says, what if we combine these two? The result is something really enjoyable. If you have ever played a shinobi game in your childhood, you'd know how much this game was inspired by that. The balance between using kunai and katana is better here, of course. The fact that the game keeps both characters interactive and won't let you lean towards one side is the best representation of that balance. The linear level design was taken so seriously that it entered the gameplay too. How? Well, basically, in almost every game in the world, you decide how to approach the enemies and which one to defeat first. In Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, with the introduction of Hypercharge and the two elements of blue and pink needed for it, you sometimes need to keep a specific order in which enemies to defeat. Like for example, here you should defeat this one first to get the Hypercharge, then this one for the second Hypercharge, and this one at the end. I'm not complaining though. It's like a puzzle sort of thing, and I like puzzles. What I will complain about is the difficulty level, especially in terms of platforming. Guillotine Boost especially is a broken mechanic and makes the game too forgiving. If you make a mistake, there are plenty of chances to redeem yourself and save the day. It kinda breaks the tension and makes it less rewarding. That's my only issue with this game. Except for the bosses, the rest of the level won't force you to push yourself, to get better and evolve. Thus, the story of two characters growing together to finally be able to defeat the Demon Lord will completely shatter. So we reached the golden question. Is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound worth buying? I'd say yeah, it's definitely worth $25, especially if you're a fan of linear side-scrollers with more classical takes, or if you're interested in the world of Ninja Gaiden. I'm gonna talk a lot more about Ragebound, and we're gonna find and discuss all the nods and homages to the old retro games in my next video, so subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you won't miss it. As always, don't shoot, there go Halo.